right there might be some heavy hitters in this show.
You was an asshole.
What?
Okay.
You don't think so?
Could be.
You know, just a little bit.
Yeah, we can't show no labels, alright.
All right, the mother.
Okay.
Cheers.
Cheers.
It smells so good.
Yes, the aromas.
Oh.
Yo, it's loud as hell today.
You know
Sorry.
what's crazy? Every time I take a sip of this, you know what I hear?
What did you hear?
Luther Vandross singing.
Yeah. That's what he said.
And then my heart goes,
Yeah.
every time I take a sip of this, ooh, I feel good. What's up, y'all? Welcome back to another week. We are back. What's another? That was a what was that? Emphasizing.
Because it's in my veins, girl. It hit my heart. You know how it hit your heartstring?
That's that. Told you. That's that. Told you.
It's different.
Welcome back to another episode of To Each His Own. I am CHRISSIE, the controversial one, biatch.
And it is I, Authentic Anna.
And together we are
To each his own.
I feel good today. First of all, I feel like I ain't talked to you in forever.
It's been the time all week.
First of all, this week that I had has been it's been rough. For the last, actually now we're at the we're giving now another week. For the last 2 weeks, they have been blended. My days and my dates have been blended between being out of town, coming back in town, and then having a week full of like different meetings and things like that, and just a lot going on.
Yes.
Shout out to my mom. By the time y'all hear this, she had been out of the hospital. It's just been a lot going on.
Listen, it really has.
Into another. So yeah, we just haven't had time to catch up. How are you?
I'm doing well. I arrived. I'm here today.
Come on, arrival.
I'm arrived.
Come on, arrival. Y'all better pull up the U because she's gonna be out here for a while.
Lord, we need an arrival. Not a revival, an arrival.
Come on.
Well, we need both.
All right. Well, speaking of arrival, what's been going on? So now that we know that we are good, and we are here, we know what today's date is, and it is Sunday, and it's another episode in a new week. What's been going on in the streets? What do we have listed here?
So, for starters, the VMA memes and the viral moments.
I haven't seen.
So I didn't watch the awards, but the viral, the Shade Room, you didn't even have to watch the show because the Shade Room the Shade Room and the coverage was crazy.
The only thing I saw was that Sukiyana thing.
Yeah, she's irritating.
That literally, I really missed it. What happened?
Sweetie was having a hell of a time with the teleprompters, and she people was bidding on her in the comments because niggas was like, "What she forgot she was at work?" And she just was like, "All right then." And then she started talking, and they was looking like, "All right." So everybody on like,
so she was trying to read it, but she couldn't. Fuck it.
Niggas don't know. Niggas was it was unclear as to why she had a delay within when she knew she was at work.
She had that. What's that white man that froze? On the speech, she had a
Mitch McConnell moment. She definitely she gave Mitch. She gave me.
I couldn't think of his name. I know his name.
She did do it.
I said, I'm like, was she stuttering? Was she trying to read the lines?
I don't know. No, she just literally, it was like a pause, and then she was just like looking around. Everybody was and niggas was like, okay, like you're supposed to be reading right now. I don't know what it was. I think she honestly, like niggas said, it was the look on her face. They said she probably was tripping on shrooms. They said a whole bunch of stuff. She probably was
a little high, a little drunk, a little.
They said a whole lot about. They said a whole lot about her, but I just was like, I was laughing to myself.
Poor Sweetie.
Like poor Sweetie, but she was playing on. She seen the comments, and so she just started, throughout the rest of the show, not saying the whole time, but she did kind of like clap back a little bit, like I see them comments. I see y'all talking shit.
Oh wow, okay.
How Diddy's son just really is like a carbon copy. That shit was crazy. The whole Red performance. He brought out Young Miami. People had a lot of stuff to say about that. I don't know why that was so controversial. Y'all should have figured that was gonna happen. And while we're here talking about it, his new project, I didn't get a chance to listen to that, but from what I'm hearing, everybody's saying it's really good.
Yeah, I only heard the one song
I need to
radio.
Yeah.
I think just yesterday. And it was cute. I was like, okay.
I need to indulge.
I'm going to indulge because, you know, Diddy always going to give you a vibe.
Mm-hmm.
Diddy always going to give you a vibe. So I was definitely going to, when I saw he was putting a project together and it was an R&B joint too, I'm like, it was definitely giving me, I need a girl parts 1 and 2, like all the way through. So I was like, yeah, I need a little R&B Diddy bop right now. I felt like I could go for that. So I was here for it personally.
Okay, cool. I didn't get a chance to listen to it, so I
didn't either, but I'm saying I was here for when they announced it coming.
I don't doubt that.
Yeah, I was here for it coming. I was like, I feel like I can go for this, especially for a little groove smooth into the fall.
Okay, period. Okay,
you can here we go, me baby. Okay.
And as you mentioned, we are hopping right into the fall. The first day of fall is upon us.
When is it?
It already happened. By the time this dropped, it would have already happened.
When was it?
September the 20. Is it the 21st or the 22nd? One of the two.
Okay.
Yeah, this airs the 24th, so it's fall.
That's
Welcome
crazy,
fall.
Because I had just looked up the first day of winter just a few days ago because I wanted to know when it was, and I'm like, okay, yeah. So the fall is officially here. So y'all can bring out, you know, it's officially wool, you know, silk season. You know,
I'm done.
Cashmere.
I'm excited for fall. I'm so it was very hot this summer. That's all I can say is it was hot as shit. Ooh. I'm not rushing the winter, but I'm excited for fall and the jean jackets and the hoodies and all that. The chill shit. So I'm excited for that.
Absolutely.
International Pie Day is coming up. That's going to be on September 30th. So shout out to all the pies.
Yeah, shout out to all the
every pie. Our favorites, everybody. But people who don't deserve a mic, you just sit this one out. But anyway, you know, shout out to all the
East Coast, to the West Coast, to the Midwest, to the Dirty South. Shout out to y'all.
Shout out to y'all.
Shout out to all you guys working hard, who are remaining consistent, who are actually providing value to the community and the audiences that you speak to and thrive towards and to entertain. Shout out to y'all, and specifically shout out to all of the Black podcasters and creators in that area. So whether you're the engineer, you know, the editor, you know, the executive producer, whatever, because this shit is hard. You know what I'm saying? And shout out to all the solo and double duo teams and all of that. Shout out to you if you do not have a team, if you are your own team, because it's a thing. So yeah, happy International Pie Day coming. Yay.
Yeah, because that be us. It's a trio. Us and the editor. That's it. Shout out to Destiny.
That was giving Destiny's Child. Destiny's Children. What else we got?
We got National Daughter and Sunday is actually happening this week too.
Oh, okay.
So shout out to us because we is daughters.
So I need to
shout out to your
sons. I need to call my parents and schedule a dinner.
So they can celebrate me.
Yeah.
Y'all.
That's like a second birthday.
Y'all fucking knew.
So International Daughter Day is 9/20. Yeah, that's like a second birthday.
Yes. And Sunday's the 28th. So Daughter Day is the 25th. Sunday's the 28th.
Yes. So absolutely. Actually, so when y'all see this, so the 25th, the day after, excuse me, this drops. Yeah.
Is that
Daughter Day. So yeah, let me schedule on here and schedule my stuff out. Schedule me a little dinner or something. And celebration. I didn't put that on my calendar for every fucking year.
A little HH ain't never hurt nobody.
Okay. I'm saying a little celebration. No self-care, never heard about it.
Yes.
All right, and we got last but not least, and what's going on? The Full Force, the Power Take.
Oh my goodness!
Now, I didn't watch this week yet.
Then we should have just left it.
I only missed this week.
Yeah, we should have just left it.
Why? I'm not saying the first 2.
Yeah, but it's a lot that has happened this week.
That's their fault for putting all that shit in one fucking episode. Cause let me tell you something. I thought it was starting off slow. Okay, then I got about 17 minutes
into episode
1. I was like, well, what the fuck is going on here? Because first of all, I'm glad I had to sit through the recap and really pay attention because I had damn sure forgot about a lot of the stuff that happened. I'm like, yo, y'all be killing me with this 1 year thing because I be really needing a reminder.
Yeah, me too. Sometimes.
Okay? I said, oh. Well, it's a lot. Well, we got, I know I should have watched a little glimpse of it, but I ain't had time to watch it. I really didn't.
I actually had to, I literally just watched it in its totality, like, last night. Because I started to watch it, but then I fell asleep. I literally only watched the first 10 minutes. I was so tired. I'm like, oh my goodness. But I'm like.
It's been a lot.
Yeah, but I watched it last night and then went to sleep right after that. Like
I can say is, Tommy came back on his bullshit.
Oh, Tommy is on. All I'm gonna say is Tommy's definitely on go next week. Something gonna have to give next week.
Tommy came back on his bullshit. And he didn't turn damn near pretty much the whole city against him that fast.
Absolutely did, and then he's not letting Liliana's death go. I'm telling you,
he not letting.
He's not.
You know why I think he not letting her death go? Because it was the last thing that he had physically to connect him to his life in New York City.
True.
And the ghost in him.
True, and it's gonna be another reference to New York City in episode 3 too.
Damn,
it's about to they trying to ooze and creep in. I see it. I'm like, okay. I'm like, all right now. I don't know, shit getting a little shaky out this joint.
I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna get to it. By the time y'all see this, I will be completely caught the fuck up. So
I have a very morbid prediction, but I feel like Kate might die.
It might be her time to die.
I don't know if I'm like reading too far into things, but it's just really strange. I don't know. I feel like it's a lot happening.
Like she's definitely,
and she's in the middle. They're in the middle of a war.
An important piece to the puzzle this season for sure. I could
tell
that within the first 2 episodes. I was like, oh, okay, Kate.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Where Mom Kate?
Yep, and a lot comes, the truth finally comes out about, different things in episode 3. I don't want to give it away to you, the audience, if they didn't. By this time, y'all asses should be on episode 4. I don't have time.
Yeah, I said by this time.
So, a lot of different things came out. She told the truth as to why, why she didn't raise him. Like, finally, that finally came out. So the moment I feel like a lot of people been wanting to know, like, what the fuck, like, what the fuck?
I want to know who his daddy is.
Because he had me too, but he had a very great point. He was like, the fuck, you was only 14 when you had me, you was 16 when you had Tommy, so saying you was too young don't make no sense. And I'm like, well, shit, that's very valid, and I don't know what it's like to have that feeling, but that's very logical.
I mean, 2 years could be a difference too. I mean, you do have some kids, a lot of kids really at 14, they're totally different kids than they are at 16.
True, but you still a teen mom.
You regardless. Are still a teen mom, but and I said that specifically because you got a lot of young girls, let me stop saying a lot, that might start smelling themselves and feel like at 16 that they're grown enough to carry a child versus not really having that feeling 2 years ago.
I mean,
at
true.
14.
But at the same time, I can see why.
I mean, but I can see both sides.
He thought that way, yeah. Like, it's like, regardless.
Because in my head, I'm like, you still a teen mom regardless. But again, today.
And we both were unplanned pregnancy. So, like, what the fuck is the difference, honestly?
Yeah.
I'm like, okay.
I think she ain't keep him because his daddy was black.
You right. Sorry, I had to get out of the way. You right. But, it was as a result of listening to people, what other people thought. Because my thing is, you laying down with somebody, it's a possibility you may have a baby by them. So if you're...
But when you young...
There you go. You don't think about that. Mm-hmm. But it's a lot of things, different things within this...
Yeah, it definitely picked up.
Tommy definitely on his shit though. I can't say that. And this probation officer that Diamond Sampson has is going to be riding his ass.
I was thinking about him.
The lady and her husband is squabbling over the balance of power. I see that a lot. It's like, don't worry, like they feel she going hard. The what's her name? The black lady with the short cut. What is her name? I cannot think of her name. All I'm gonna go do is go home and watch it again. But she's really like she's fighting tooth and nail for this task force, and
they like we don't see it.
She just better know who Egan is. That's all I'm saying. Bitch. Yeah. Know your role. But anywho,
Jabroni.
I'm excited for that.
So go back and watch Power. We're gonna pick this up.
Yeah.
In about week 4.
Yeah, okay? We're gonna pick it up.
Bottom line.
Yes, ma'am.
Little 4 or 5, maybe 5, depending on what's going on. All right. So who do we have listed here for the boss of the week?
Boss of the week is RCK Luxury Detail. It's a detail service located in Collingdale, 13 McDade Boulevard, Unit 3A to be exact, behind the back of Dunkin' Donuts. I'm shouting y'all out.
Behind
go there, get your car detailed. They'll leave you all spick and span. Spick and span. Get you looking all shines up and stuff like that. They promise they want your car in showroom condition. You hear me? So give them a play if you need your vehicle shine. up, cleaned up, looking fresh. Nobody wants to drive around a dirty car. I know I don't. I need a car wash right now, so I'm gonna be going over there to get one. Because we all know hand wash is better than machine wash. I need a detail, honestly, so that's what I plan to do. But shout out to RCK Detail again, black-owned luxury detail company located in Collingdale, PA, on McDade Avenue Boulevard. That is 13 McDade Boulevard in Collingdale, Pennsylvania. RCK Luxury Detail. They have an Instagram, RCK_luxury detail. Shout out to y'all.
All right now.
So
It's topic time.
it is topic time.
It is topic time. All right. Moving in silence.
Everybody's new favorite thing to do.
I mean, I don't really feel like it's, I guess, new per se.
It's not, but it's everyone's favorite new thing to do to announce it.
I definitely feel like it was
a new announcement
thing to say.
A new trendy announcement
for a while. Well, this is a little lengthy. So, what points did you want to pull out from here?
I mean, it is. It ain't. So they're basically, the person is asking what the obsession is with everything being done in silence. Like, you gotta take your, you gotta move in silence, you gotta take your wins in silence, and you gotta hold your L's, you gotta heal, and you gotta love. So other people, so their whole point is, how they feel about it is, they feel as if people do this because people feel like people affect their energy that much. And they feel like it's a trauma response. And they're speaking specifically to the people who announce the fact that they prefer silence. But they feel like at the very same time they're being loud about something that doesn't resonate with them. So you'll do everything in silence, but how come your opinions and preferences aren't on silent too if that's what you prefer? Make it make sense. Now that statement was what drew me in, because it's like, okay, at the very same time I could see how you could make that conclusion from from that, something like that. And honestly, and I just thought it was funny because I'm a person who believes in doing this, but to a certain extent, because those that you love should, love and care about what but you don't ever want to just, every little thing you don't announce though. I'm not that kind of person. So that's why I feel like this resonates with me. It's not that I'm moving it. I feel like, I got to announce it to the world or anything, but it's just more so in the fabric of who I am and how I move.
Yeah, and I definitely understand the whole, if you talking about preferring silence and that's how you prefer to move, then why you not shutting the fuck up about everything? I definitely get that piece. That's the piece that I really be like, okay, a read is a read, right?
That's why, and I read it, my eyes was open.
Yeah, okay.
So I did a clickiana.
A read is a read. So it's just like, with that being said, I mean, yeah, I do get it, but at the same time too, most people don't monopolize their losses or the bad things or the negative things that happen in their life. You know what I mean? Most people do take their quote-unquote healing journey in private, or it's a very small or close circle that knows about it. Think about the average person that goes through something like maybe a rehab or anything. It's normally not a lot of people who are involved in that process. You know what I mean?
Right.
So some things, like you said, are just meant to a certain degree. It's just, everything is just not meant for the masses of those whom you know.
Yeah.
To be known about at the time. Like, even if it's, whether it's, about it either after the fact or maybe sometimes not at all. Everything is not meant for everybody. Like, every single thing that happens with a person, you don't know. Even if your own mother or father or the closest person you may consider to you, every single moment of the day is not recorded or reported to you. You know what I mean? So I feel like from that very generalized perspective, it's very easy to differentiate being open about some things versus a little bit more closed about others.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yep, I agree.
So I can see it from both perspectives indefinitely.
And I'm not trying to make this long, draw this out, but I feel like it's very interesting because the person commented again and also mentioned that, they understand keeping quiet until you've actually received the blessing or reached the goal that you were trying to reach or that you manifested.
Because I'm like that too.
Yeah,
you
me too.
Like jinx a certain thing.
Absolutely,
like
absolutely. So, but because you just don't show work that it's in progress, but if you silent out of protection, that just gives fear for me. That's what they said. I was trying to quote it. And they also said, because what are you protecting yourself from? Do people not put protection around them? Like, meaning, do you think of, do you move in smart ways? Do you take the proper precautionary measures to make sure that your entity is protected, your emprise, whatever it is? Are you not putting those things in place to make sure that you have a sturdy foundation and that your endeavor is secure? And they also said that, do you not trust in your work? Do you not trust in your work ethic? Do you not think that you're going to, attain it? Is that the reason why you're so quiet? Because it's like, just in case I fail. And I understand that perspective also. Giving it the connotation of fear. So,
and fear is not necessarily a bad thing, because depending on what it is, say, you're working on, starting a business, or you have a new idea or something that you may be creating that actually may benefit society. Yeah, there is a fear that, operating out of a point of fear that, I don't want anybody to take and steal my ideas, so I have to keep quiet about certain things until, the ink is dry on the paper, in order so I can protect my assets. It is okay to operate out of fear in that aspect. In that regard, I think it's absolutely okay when you operate, when you think it's like, okay, yeah, I want to protect my stuff. It is okay to have a little fear in protecting your stuff. Like they say, it's okay to have a little bit of, what's that word? Not anxiety. It's okay to have a little bit of, I can't think about it. I don't want to spend too much time on it. But
okay.
Like, it's okay to have that fear aspect in order to make sure things go as smoothly as you need and want them to go. Mm-hmm. It's absolutely okay. And again, it's not everybody's business. Or maybe it's not necessarily fear. Maybe you don't want to hear everybody's mouth or respond to everybody. Maybe you want to keep quiet because a lot of people will have questions that you just don't feel like it's necessary to answer.
Absolutely.
And to avoid
distractions.
Distractions too. That was my next thing. And to avoid all that, you just don't say anything.
Right. And I feel that. And it's so interesting. And then when I saw this, it's like I was having a conversation with somebody the other day.
But on the other hand, yeah.
They approached me and they were asking me about, my lashes and stuff like that. So I'm like, oh, I buy clusters and I do them myself. I'm like, I don't go to anybody else or whatever like that. So she was like, oh, really? She was like, and I've been meaning to ask you because I've been, coming up with a business. And I invested in my own lash line. I invested in my own eyeshadow and stuff like that. And she was like, and I want to bring you a couple samples so you can, test it out. I'm like, oh, okay. Cool. I'm like, and I never expected that. And I'm like, you just never know who's watching. But she was like, she's like, I've been sitting on this for so, she goes in to start talking to me or whatever. And she's like, I've been holding on to this idea for so long because I just want it to be right. And I stopped her and I was like, let me just stop you right there. I'm speaking from experience. I'm like, don't be afraid. I'm like, the same way you just came up to me and said something to me, I'm like, you realize I like something. You realize I was interested in something or whatever like that by me just having a conversation. I'm like, because I was originally talking to somebody else approached me, but she also asked me too, because that probably made her feel comfortable and gave her leeway and to say, let me present this idea to her. I was like, but don't hold yourself up with trying to make everything perfect.
Right.
I'm like, you're along the way, you're going, I'm like, because what your business is for who your business is for. I'm like, whatever demographic that, you want to figure it out. You know who you want to aim for, but at the same time, they're going to show up. They're going to show up. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Your target audience will show up, especially like, oh, okay, because people who like lashes in general might give you a look. They might give you a look. It's plenty of places that we people who like weave and, clothes and things like that. You've perused and scrolled through a whole bunch of websites that you would never necessarily purchase anything from, but because it's something that you're interested in, you gave it a once over. So I'm like, don't ever let the thought, the burden of perfection or wanting to be perfect or having every single duck in a row hold you up from missing your blessing. I'm like, get out there and just do it. She was like, I know I got to do it. She's like, my husband was telling me that. I'm like, do it. I'm like, because if you keep saying you afraid and stuff like that, I'm like, who gonna know? I'm like, and another thing, you gotta wear your stuff. I'm like, you don't never wear your stuff, so how people supposed to know? I'm like, I'm like, people ask me just to know, because they assume that probably that I have a lash check and they just want to know. Like, people just ask questions. They ask me who do my hair, all the time, and I'm like, these is $10 lashes, girl, and they be laughing at me. They be laughing so hard, like, and I had somebody tell me, oh, I will poke myself in the damn eye. You got that. I'm sorry, everything ain't for everybody. I'm like, yeah, you right. But everything that you put your mind to, you know, you're going to feel protective about it. You know, just like they say artists are sensitive about their craft. Like creators are sensitive about their shit, period. So, but this is a message to all y'all out there. Listen, we turned that motherfucking live on. Then we start turning the camera on and we just been going. We just been going because we coming up on our anniversary and all. Today would it be? So just moving. So don't operate out of fear. You gotta, you know,
keep it moving.
You gotta put the work in.
Yes, you do.
And have the faith.
Blood running the edge. Excuse me.
Child,
come on, I try you just preach to the people, but I think we had kind of
I just wanted to put that as a we set the people straight with that. I just wanted to put that, you know.
Oh no, you absolutely right. You absolutely right. So speaking of that, all right now, I ain't gonna even lie. Before we move on to this next topic, I just gotta really say, I'm shocked as fuck that I didn't even put this on the list.
Okay.
I'm genuinely shocked because when I clicked it, I was like, what the hell is this? Then I opened it, I was like, oh my gosh. I saw this video, but I didn't see it. I had saw like the picture of it, and I scrolled past it. I never tapped on it and listened to it.
Okay.
Like generally, like just on social media. Because when I saw the please ban microphones from the black community, I was like, oh gosh, it's another one of them. Mm-hmm. And I just kept scrolling. So when I saw that you put this on here, I was like, oh gosh, now I actually gotta listen to this shit and see what she said.
It was one of them toilet tribulations. You know how you just be scrolling? Everybody scrolls on the toilet. Like, let's not act like we're kids.
Toilet thoughts and toilet tribulations.
Listen, tribe. Listen, the toilet tribulations be real. And I had accidentally clicked on this, but I just thought it was hilarious and so damn funny. So damn funny.
It is. So I'm going to play it for you guys.
Oh, and by the way, we call this Ho and Go.
Ho and Go. So the title of this topic is Ho and Go. Go. So here we go.
I don't like Hosha because if one thing me and my partners did, we came to hoe and go. If you just going and not hoeing, hey baby, you might need to wait for the church retreat. You might not need to come on this trip.
You ain't gotta hoe. Everybody do what they want to do. I'm pro-choice.
No, because when you're not pro-ho, you're anti-ho. I'm sorry. If you're not pro-ho, you're anti. And you are not welcome up in here. We are supporters of sluts, whores, dick suckers, and all things above. Okay? We are pro everything up in this motherfucker. I don't like Hosha.
I think they said the same thing just in two different ways. Cause the one girl, she said, "Oh wait, what's going on?" She said, "I'm pro." She said, "I'm pro-choice." She's like, "People gonna do whatever it is they want to do." And then the other girl was like, "No, if you're not pro ho, then you anti. We here for dick suckers, sluts, whores, everything everybody want to do." So I'm like, she just said what the other girl said in a much more lengthy, much more vulgar way, because they both ultimately stood for everybody doing what they wanted to do.
That's one way to look at it. But from the other side, I see where the girl was coming from. For me personally, from how the tone that she was, the tone of the conversation and the context spoke to me in a different way.
What was the question or statement that preceded her to say that?
Basically, because they was talking about going on vacations and how female. That's what I got from the gist of the conversation. Going on vacations because let me not lead with that statement. I'm just gonna make it. Dial it back a little bit before I say that because I can't, because it needs to be another party present before I can say that. However, people in general, we're not gonna put a gender on it or anything because everybody gonna be who they want to be too. People in general have this preconceived notion that when you go on vacation, that is the green light for you to do whatever it is that you want.
Where the hell that came from?
It is a culture that is like that.
It is a culture that's like that, but I feel like it's always been a culture that's like that. But I don't know why with this space between our mid-20s and like 30s, it was just like people, like niggas just started using it as a conversation. Like, oh, so what you be doing when you go on vacation with your friends? I'm just like, what the fuck are you talking about? And it's like just because it started to become like this more common thing, like that niggas believed every time women went on vacation with their girlfriends, it was this whole slut ball trip or like saying. Like, I'm like, why the fuck do y'all think that? Like, who made it so or made people think that this happens all the time?
Females like her. And I'm gonna tell you why.
So
because because to me, I'm on the nigga side with this one. I'm sorry, I gotta be, because if you're coming out your mouth to say no, if you're not with that, she's saying it like as if that is the goal for her on every trip. Like that's how she's saying it.
No, like I don't get who made that up?
People that want to live that way, that people like her. That's what I'm saying. The way she presented the conversation and her stance on it was as if she's like, no, if you ain't with it, you against it. Basically, that's what she's saying.
And that's the only problem when she said that, and I definitely.
That's why I'm just like, no.
She said that because I was just like,
no. Because I'm not sitting here.
Because just because I'm not doing it, don't mean that I give a fuck about what you doing for one.
Exactly. Because it's different levels, the whole shit. That's number one.
Levels, the whole shit.
Number two, just like you know, first and foremost, I don't have to give a fuck. My drink is going.
Oh, well, let's get you a refill.
First and foremost, damn, I know I should have said nothing. I should have acted like, broke neck, Mike.
Mike even said you need to refill, okay? So Mike dropped
the
that
Mike traded on me and told my business.
Mike said Mike dropped that bitch need a refill.
But
come on, elbow on her.
I just feel like she was saying it from a perspective like there are like, yeah, they get on vacation and they act a damn donkey, and I feel like it just lands as a raindrop underneath a bucket, a drop in a bucket underneath the umbrella of kind of sort of like, you just can't travel with everybody, especially if it's gonna get in the way. I
feel like you bitching.
Oh no, shut up. If it's gonna get in the way of you having fun and it's the vibe of the trip because you so worried about what somebody else gotta do. And that's circumstantial because sometimes it do be drooling because you ain't about to, because if we got an Airbnb, you're not about to be bringing, I don't give a fuck if you want to fuck 20 niggas, that's on you.
Right.
But you're not about to bring a whole bunch of different niggas to this Airbnb while we staying here. No, that's not gonna happen. So something like that I could see. That's just the what I eat out there. But you are putting the idea out there like that for you personally. You can't say that just because I don't want to partake in the fuck shit, I'm against it. That's not the two have nothing to do with each other.
That's an immature thought process.
It definitely is. I feel like I'm not knocking her for what she likes, but I feel like even her mindset when it comes to travel is fucking dumb as shit. It's immature because it's like, yeah, do what you want to do, but
I'm like, damn, what else did she say?
She didn't say anything, but just from that statement lets me know that that's what I'm sorry to seem judgmental or whatever like that. That lets me know that that's what your intentions are when you travel, because you felt very like your response and your opposition and your point of view was to the opposition was just like, no, you ain't with it. It's just like, okay, so I take it this is how you like to travel.
I mean, well, cool. I would hope that that's not, again, I would just,
she too hype.
I don't know the
she
girl.
Too hype. I don't know, but she too hype for me. She too hype.
I would hope that, she just
comment
from
and let me know
a level of that, she's just super open and not caring about what happens. Again, which neither are we, but, it didn't, again, like people like to tell me, well, then you sound so forceful when you say it, and that don't be my intent. That's the only reason why I'm kind of playing devil's advocate and saying, that it was just her delivery
that was like that, or because she could be speaking from a position as if like when something happened to her and that's basically what they told her. She could be speaking from that point of view also, like basically, no, you got to be with it, because if you ain't with it, then you against us. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to think about it. We all know how it is when we go out to the club, let alone when we travel. If it's females that's like that.
Yeah, no, that's why I was just thinking.
Yeah, they want to be in somebody's section. They want to get lit. They want to give up the cooch.
They're also, you got the population of groups who are, you got your real friends, like your friends that know your
friends you party with.
You got your friends you party with, and then sometimes it's even separate. Sometimes you got your friends that you party with, and then friends that you vacation with. So that might actually be 2 or 3 different groups of people. You know what I mean?
True.
So if she was speaking from that aspect, she may not even be speaking about the same group of people that, she would even go to the club with, possibly. So hopefully, girl, if you see this, bitch, let us know what part of your heart it was coming from.
We don't know. I mean, you was just rooting too hard. You was just rooting too hard. I feel like
I'm hoping it was just her delivery. Shout out to
because I feel like even whether she was with it or not, the other person who was on the mic, I don't know who was speaking specifically, but the other person,
she was like, wait, where this come from? I didn't know that she said that. She was like, that's the only reason that really made me go.
Because
the hell was said before?
Because it was aggressive and it was just like no, it was very linear. It was very linear.
That was said that made her just like kind of, you know what I mean? It did seem like a very reactionary statement though too. Like said somebody said something and immediately that was her response. Like, well, no, fuck that. Like, you know what I mean? Or maybe she read a statement or a comment or something like that. Like, I don't know if they was like reading comments or something like that or whatever. But
who knows?
Who knows? Yeah, I'm like again. I just had to play devil's advocate a little bit. Oh, always. I'm often accused of my delivery being, you know, very brash, and harsh, and abrasive, and that's absolutely not my intent. I'm just passionate about what the fuck I be saying, and I be serious about what I be saying. That's all. That's it. That's all, and that's three.
Whew. Hey, I think we dissected that enough. So what's next, girlfriend? What's next on the menu?
The growth stunt. Last but not least, so yes.
Something more serious. Winding down. So, came across the post and it made a lot of sense. It's, you know, you spoke on a lot of things. I think we could briefly touch on this. We talk about this kind of sort of in and out a lot. Reconnecting with people who show no signs of change since the last time y'all spoke is crazy. Zero character development and no growth. That's why you have to leave people where they at.
Oh yeah, that's just point blank period.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, you're not about to tell me I'm acting funny or anything like that. You're not.
Well, you're not. You're not. Let me take that back a little bit because not take it back, but.
And this isn't from an area of judgment either.
No, it's not. But I had to think about how I think when people laugh and go, Christine, you ain't changed a bit. I always have to ask, well, what do you mean by that? Because depending on what your answer is, it depends on if I'm gonna take offense by you saying it.
True, but even I wouldn't even. But I'm gonna tell you, I'm just gonna speak piggyback. Even I see where your perspective is, and 1,000%. But the other side of the game is with that shit. Like, okay, I can sit here and say that. It depends. Like, what do you mean by that? But at the very, very same time, for me, I'm coming from a place of my values are my values. Yes, they do grow, and yes, they do become. Yes, they do. You know, evolve with me and who I am and who I am becoming as a person. But your core is your core, right? So if I was always a person who never took no shit from nobody.
Think I'm going to now?
How do you think that it's possible for me to do so now? I'm not gonna just become a doormat overnight, like you know, right?
Or at all.
Maybe you're, and that's why it's fair to say in a conversation like that, or somebody even approaches you like that and say, you know what, I'm gonna stop you right here because what do you mean by that? That's a very fair response because. In that moment, they're going to tell you one or two things. Is because
on if I'm going to take it to offense or not.
Exactly.
Because if you say some stupid shit.
Because if you know I could have blacked out and I didn't, then okay, cool. I can see why you saying that. You still the same person because you could tell by how my reaction or the energy I'm giving that I'm going back to my motherfucking roots. I'm going to the root. I'm going to the root. I'm going to my roots, and I've never been a no-nonsense person, and this person is taking me there, or this situation isn't something that I'm very, particularly fond of, so this is how I'm approaching, because you know me as a person. Or it's just like, oh, bitch, you just always snapping. Anytime anything doesn't go your way, or something isn't what you like, or what you want, it's always just a negative reaction with that. Because for me personally, if I'm a person that never took no shit and it's a situation where I would have snapped 10 years ago, like it would have been like, oh, I'm smacking this bitch with the black side of my hand. I'm not even having a conversation about, what their point of view is or maybe why or what their intent was. I don't care because I just don't like what you did. Okay. Versus me taking a step back and maybe not making one of those comments I would have made. And that's growth for me. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck what you think. I don't care if it's like, oh, it's a centimeter growth. Bitch, it's growth. If I'm getting a half an inch of growth, I'm thankful for that growth because I'm going to try, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to retain it.
Exactly. I feel like at the end of the day, anybody who knows me, they knows how. aggressive. I used to be. It's just like, and then meeting me now, listen, I'm gonna let anybody know if I don't put my hands on you or get pit paws put on you in some sort of way, it's growth.
Yeah.
Okay, if I decide, listen, we can have a conversation about it, or I'm just gonna walk away from it. I decided nowadays that nothing is worth an argument. I don't feel like I need to be raising my voice at anybody, especially if you're not a child.
Mm-hmm.
So if it's not anything that we can have a conversation about sensibly as adults, then we don't need to be talking at all. Poof, be gone, so you don't even have to have this experience with me.
Mm-hmm.
You feel what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. That's why I thought that was so interesting. I'm like, I'm like, there's another side of the game with that. Give him. Oh my goodness, my nose is so shiny. I can't do it.
That's what I'm saying. It's very.
It was very interesting.
Matter of factly.
Yeah, but But people who be stuck in the same cycle doing the same shit. Honestly, like, I'm just at a point in my life. It's just like I can't. It's always gonna be like that. I can't. I'm trying to be better, and I'm not saying I'm better than nobody, but it's certain things that I know that I'm above.
Yeah, if it's absolutely, I'm about to say, if it's anything that you know that you're not willing to do yourself as an individual, it doesn't matter what anybody else is willing to do. Yes, if it's anything that you feel like you're above, that you absolutely not doing, and you get like disgusted by, or you feel differently about now, you don't. Again, you're above it. It's not worth it at this point. You don't gotta deal with it, and you don't have to allow somebody to make you feel some kind of way. Because they feel some kind of way about you changing about it. Like, it didn't, like, honestly, it's called growth. I don't give a damn if it's a centimeter. There's growth, and you are beyond that, and you're leaving that what we call behind you.
Because if it was yesterday, bitch, yesterday could have been an hour ago, because it could be 12:04. I'm off there.
Mm-hmm.
Who are you?
Here we go. All right.
On my mama.
On my who?
That's the end of that. So,
let's get to the reality
check.
The reality check. Dun, 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 dun.
So, I saw something that was interesting, and I thought that it spoke a lot, too, about the days and times that we're in, and something that I feel like is reoccurring. It's been in so many of my conversations
when you
lately.
Days and times, I just started playing that song. These are the days.
I heard, what's going on? That's been my song lately. So, do people want to be rich, or do they just want to be able to have more free time?
I think the average person just wants to be rich. This was the easy one for me to answer.
So, but, however, at the very same time, let's just go into the meme. The old American dream: graduate from college, buy a house, have 2 to 3 kids, retire at 65 with a pension. The new American dream: time freedom, location freedom, lifestyle freedom, and financial freedom. So when it's broken down in that sense, the latter of that tweet, of that post, the new American dream, I think that is 1000% true. It has shifted, because I think that not even just Black Americans, but Americans have realized that the American dream is no longer something that is tangible. It's not. We have been trading our time for the longest to these companies who have no interest or no type of, they don't invest as much of them as the workers do into their, to make their company successful. It's not an even trade. Time is something that is so precious, you can't get it back. You can't. And honestly, even for my multi-dimensional folks, all you people who talk about that kind of stuff, quantum physics, wherever you want to go with this.
Lord, that term just made
yeah, wherever you want to go with this, whatever it is, time is still something that you cannot. You didn't make it. Mm-hmm. You don't own it. You don't control it.
But you have to find
Nobody do, but you. Yeah, it's something that's the one thing besides laws that people are susceptible to. People are submissive to by default. Mm-hmm. At the end of the day, because so when it comes to time freedom, location freedom, lifestyle freedom, and financial freedom, and you think about the laws that are in place, you think about society and culturally speaking, what that means, who it protects versus who it doesn't, what's in, what's not, and the daily grinds of the average person. Everyone who is a creator knows that we go to work every single day or whatever like that. People who do both. Let me stop right there. Let me throw that back a little bit. People who do both. There's the grind. Not saying that people who only are entrepreneurial aren't busy, because hell yeah, they're busy. But it's a different kind of balance, And I'm just trying to, acknowledge everyone within the scope of what I'm trying to say. Time freedom is something that is, I dig why they put that first, because that ain't, like I said, we don't own it, we don't control it. Location freedom. A lot of people are born into these red-lined areas by default. They are where they are. It's circumstantial. Cool, right?
And still don't want to go far beyond that.
They don't, because then the lifestyle. They're only exposed to that lifestyle. This is where travel comes into play, and this is where being cultural comes into play. Cultural, cultured person comes into play. And financial freedom. Not everybody isn't born with a silver spoon. Not a lot of people have the means even for the cost of living. COLA is, cost of living adjustments ain't matching the cost of living. Let's just put that out there. We all know that. It's been that way for a while. There is no Social Security for us. People who are our age, younger, fuck it. We're not getting it. Forget it. So many things come into play when you think about the American dream and what freedom means to people, because freedom means... I know I'm talking about a lot here, but I'm just trying to bring y'all to the crux of it. It's just like... At the end of the day, I do think that people do want the money. But I think that people, because they're so lazy... because they are, in a sense. There's a culture of laziness that is among every industry and just in general. I think subconsciously, I don't even think they realize that they know that their time is valuable. That's why they're not willing to waste it doing certain things that you and I would deem conducive to getting the longer goal of having the freedom. They don't, I'm not giving my time to them, but you're not even giving yourself the time either at the same time. You're not giving yourself the chance. You're not setting yourself up. You're not putting yourself in the position. So when I think about freedom, when I think about freedom, I'm like, I think people want like free time because our days are so packed. Technology has taken over.
People want free time though to do nothing. I think most of the people that want that free time are the lazy ones that you just lastly described. The people who don't really want to work towards it. Because I was with the baby on this. I would say that more of this Generation Z are the new generation individuals who want more time freedom, financial freedom, travel freedom, and all of that. But there's still quite a good number of individuals in our generation and up in older generations that are still with that, sticking to that 9-to-5 old American dream lifestyle.
True.
Like I had plenty of family members and talked to plenty of people who still like, well, no, we just gonna sit here and live our little 9-to-5 lives. But
because they don't have a choice. But I think deep down, more often than not, and more than anything,
fearful.
They're fearful.
A lot of the newer technologies
and the changes.
Time, though. They do want their time. They do want their time, but they don't. It's all that is risk taking.
It is.
It's part of risk taking.
Even in the sense that teachers are looking to more.
That's the biggest difference between the new American dream and the old one. It's just risk taking.
It is.
The old American dream, they would not take risks. They were taught to do things one way in a chronological sense, and that's that. You live, you were born, you live in this sense. You do things this way, you die. This Gen Z, they're like, man, to hell with all of that.
And I think people, and even I've seen this timeline put up on social media or just like inserted in people's talks or just inserted in conversation in so many ways where people are dissecting it and they're going through it and they're just talking about how our days are so packed. From the time that you get up, you got to do this, you got to do that, because the 9-to-5ers are now trying to figure out other ways to make ends meet, so they're outsourcing to make other, to get other income. So people are realizing that a lot of their time goes towards just trying to fucking be able to afford everything. Even the teachers are saying now, I spoke about this in the previous episode, it's becoming a trend. They're not giving homework because that time needs to be spent with their kids, their children. I was just watching.
They have to spend the additional time grading all of that.
There you go.
Too, so there you go. Time on both.
Absolutely.
So not only the child, but
because they had a lot of times they have kids and families
because they got to prep that work, they got to give it out, and they got to grade it, and they got to go back and inspect it. Yeah, it's a process.
And I saw an interesting post about this, and this guy's reaction. He was a parent, was so indignant, but I felt weird. He was like, basically his reaction to the teacher was just like, he said, my child will not do your homework.
I saw that.
It was such a good play on.
I saw it.
My child ain't doing refuting the idea of homework.
Because
exactly.
you want to prove something about your children or whatever like that. Yeah. Yeah, I did see that.
They're not even using this shit. Or, they need to be. Yep.
They're not. And again, I'm I probably would be that kind of parent.
Mm-hmm.
No BS, because there is so much that I can remember learning about in school that I've never, still not to this day, and don't see myself in the future putting to use. I said, what was the point of, and I don't remember it to this day. What was the point of you guys drilling that into my head to the point where I needed to regurgitate it to pass tests when I have no use for it?
And honestly, I think it just all goes, but not to get too far off topic, but while we're here, I think that we just need to highlight this. I think being a person who's been in the classroom, both public schools, being a TSS, and being with children like from birth to like in the preschool setting and, you know, early Head Start and stuff like that, I just feel like it goes back to just how can we just make the classroom and the learning environment more conducive, more digestible, more of a place where kids can be hands-on and immerse themselves every single day, so that it is exposure, it is opportunity, it is positive, it is encouraging, it is stimulating, so that they are pursuing these academic goals and, you know, getting to meet these milestones. I think it just all boils down and comes back to what is the classroom environment like, because if it's a situation where, you know, because thinking about how we operated in school and what the teachers went through and what was going on, are the kids even afforded the time and the space in class to have that connection? Because to be honest, on any level, be it preschool, be it high school, middle school, even collegiate,
and that's the
there is no one-on-one.
Yep, and that's the problem.
There is no one-on-one. Exactly
30 students.
How?
And the continuum of levels that they're on is
and ways that people learn is a spectrum.
And that's what I was just about to say. I think that there should be a educational curriculum developed, and it should start from the very beginning, from Head Start all the way up. It should be a curriculum developed based on the different styles of learning.
Absolutely.
So that way everybody gets a little bit of everything. So if you have a child who is a visual learner, but you're currently in the written class, you just have that additional support in the classroom, centered by the
and learning is such a beautiful thing. It's so layered. Yeah, I agree. So they can get this, so they can provide, they can give that opportunity, and they could be exposed.
And I feel like it shouldn't be high school. It shouldn't be the beginning of, you know how we used to have those vocational schools and things like that. The high school is where they introduce like us splitting up based on, I guess, what our interests are and things. I feel like it should start way early. At the minimum, it should start in elementary school. Even if you want to start it in the 5th grade, even if you don't want to take it all the way through, let them get some sort of experience. Let them, you know, learn some things maybe from kindergarten through 4th, and then 5th start introducing some different things and have it gradually grow all throughout high school. That way they can be exposed through different things from grade school all throughout high school. So by the time they complete high school, they actually have a feel for maybe what kind of field or industry that they want to go into.
I like that idea. And honestly, so I know that so from my undergrad experience, even back down to elementary, I know a lot of people aren't afforded the opportunity to have what they call Exchange City.
Yeah.
Exchange City was implemented within the curriculum because I went to school in both the Philadelphia public school district, as well as Delaware County and Montgomery County school districts. And Exchange City, I feel like, gave you a sense of operations, business, personable skills, commerce, and how things worked. Because you got to play these roles. You got to be, you know, you got to count money. You got to, you know, it kind of put in perspective a little bit. Even if, just like the game of Monopoly, I feel like it was very much so based on a Monopoly model or something like something of that sort. It's a great game to teach kids how to deal with money. Even at the church we were attending at the time had a class or like a seminar.
And if they y'all want to take artists and use their, you know, recording industry, you know, take their whole process
and the independent experience too.
Y'all can take Monopoly can literally be it can be broken down into it as a course.
Absolutely, it can,
and be very beneficial to all kids. Levels.
Yes, and not even just
but
it's a great way to introduce it.
It is.
It's a great way because it's fun. You know, although, you know, for me personally, I haven't played Monopoly probably since I was a minor because I always felt like it was such a long game. But think about if
you break it down in a curriculum.
In a way that they can understand.
You're able to just play the game and just battle it out based on what you learned.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Making like a Monopoly competition kind of shit. You know, we're giving y'all a little bit of gaming. I told you. Get this motherfucking working together.
Anyway,
okay,
so yeah, I personally, we're ignoring Christine. Anyway, so I personally,
just saying,
I think that first of all, that we are excellent. We are brilliant. Thank you for coming here. Thank you for listening to us because I love where this conversation went. I love how we branched off. Although
you always like when I talk about the little bath.
I'm putting that on the back. But again, to restate the question, for you to ask yourself and for you to comment, for you to get back to us, even if it's a message, let us know how you feel. How do you wait? Where do you wait on us? Whether it's YouTube, Instagram, whether it's Spotify, Apple Music, leave us a comment. Google Podcast. Let us know. You can send us an email. THOPowerhouse@gmail.com.
Leave us a voicemail.
Leave us a voice message too. Speak clearly and get to the point. Thank you, because this one's impatient and I try to do it.
Y'all gotta. A 2-minute man, I got a 60-minute cap. How long they give you one on iPhone for the voice text?
60 minutes, 60 seconds. You said minutes,
second. I meant seconds, not no minutes.
After 60 seconds, it's like woo, child.
I might give you 100. I might give you a 2, depending on what y'all talking about. If it get good, but you know, please do leave us a voice message.
But just let us know, let us know how y'all feel about this. Like, so do you feel people want to be rich or do they just want to be able to have more free time?
I think there is. I'm going to split the baby.
I agree with you. Splitting the baby is definitely a fair view. However, I think a lot of times, even within splitting the baby, there is a certain demographic that don't even realize subconsciously they do want more time. Based on their behaviors, directly or inadvertently or in conjunction with other things.
They want more time to do nothing.
Yeah, but think about but there's a lot that goes in. Yeah, but a lot goes into that. If you come from nothing and you were taught nothing, that leaves nothing. So if you're not exposed to anything, to know that there's other things that are a lot of kids. If you're not,
I'm saying the people that you're saying that might want more time unconsciously.
They don't even know that. Yeah, because think about it. People are worn out and burned out with everyday things. Whether they have a life that's doing so, whether they have a productive life or not.
Some people want more time, but even people who are like planning for more time, some people want more time to do absolutely nothing or to do evil shit.
No, people want more free time because we shouldn't have to be fighting this hard for our lives out here. We just shouldn't.
We shouldn't, but some people want more time.
You shouldn't have to work for accomplishments, but I think that it has gone. So it's insurmountable at this point. It is, especially for people who look like me and you. It's insurmountable at this point. Honestly. For me, I'm just coming from a place of realness. Not saying that she's being delusional, but I'm just thinking about like.
I said some people want more time.
I think I'm just giving those grace. Those people who don't do shit. I know people like that too who don't really do shit to get to those goals or they don't have a plan. But at the very same time, they do. But they're still in the thick of life and still trying to survive just the fuck like we are. And it's unfortunate, but they are. Like they really are. And we do need more time. If they have more time, because guess what?
Always gotta get the benefit of the doubt.
I'm here for y'all, yo. I'm trying to show up.
ABC. Authentic honor. Always gotta give the benefit of the doubt to my controversial ass.
And do with that information what you want. Damn it, D. There you go.
Work your way to.
I love y'all. She be loving y'all too. But thank you for coming to join us. I think I'm just gonna wrap the conversation up there because I could go on about this all day long. I don't even know if I completed my thought, but I love y'all. We've been here for a while. Y'all got a good show out of us. And we talked about a lot. It was very colorful today. I love the fact that our conversation can go any and everywhere. And we know what we be talking about for the most part.
Episode 99. So creep your way through the week. Because next week is episode
100.
Okay, another one. Okay, my DJ Cowboy. So we're gonna wrap this up. I am the controversial one, Chrissy bitch.
And I'm the authentic one, Anna.
And together we are
To each his own.
Listen, watch, subscribe wherever you are. Bring a friend next week.
Yes, and leave us a review on our website. Our website.
Webisode is a word.
Webisode, but I said whopper with a P. Whopper.
Not like a little Midwest swang accent.
With a twang.
Yeah.
Ain't that cute? Him and Ashanti got back together. That's cute.
Oh, we've been through that, and I'm glad they came from.
I know they come. Hello, her purse was cute. He said, "Don't make me hit you with my pocket." I said, "Ooh." She wants.
She said, mind me.
Mind me. Wait, shout out to you and Shanti. We both up here with the edges today. This for you, boo. Because we be representing.
Can you ride for me?
Yeah.
Now it's time for me.
Oh.
It's time for me.
She might have been the first one to make extra edges cool. Not saying that baby hair was definitely always a
No,
thing.
but like on the edge, like down the face, and her joint was like thick too, and it was like swoop. When you can make a full S with your shit.
That's how you know. That's how you know.
No little side profile.
Yes, a little side profile.
What he say with them leather sideburns? Bye.